Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn, September 1st to the 15th, 2021 Capricorn, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At the bottom, we have the Fool, and then we have the Chariot. So the Chariot represents Cancer energy. If we have Cancer within our natal chart, this is going to come through very powerfully as a rooting, a grounding force for us during this time. We have the Tower, and we have the Hermit. If we have Virgo energy within our natal chart, this is coming through very powerfully as an inner part of ourselves. We need time to be alone. We need the Hermit to come forward. We need to say, I need to follow my own light, my own path, because I've dealt with a lot. I've been through a lot. And because we have been through a lot, our experiences aren't necessarily going to be the same as other people's experiences, or the way that we think like, oh my gosh, this is a lot on the plate would be enough to like crush another person. It would be just a boulder falling on them. So there can be a time during this time where we feel like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about stress. Don't talk to me about, XYZ, because I've lived it. I've come through it. And it just is really saying here, follow your own self. Because if we have everybody else's, everything coming at us, it's going to add too much pressure. It's going to add too much stress. It's going to be too much. We have the Queen of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, this is coming through very powerfully within our inner self. If we have fire sign energy within our chart, our natal chart, this is coming through very strongly as an emotional guide to us. We are very emotionally connected with our work. If we succeed at work, we've succeeded in life. If we don't feel like we're succeeding at work, we don't feel as if we're succeeding at life. That's something where we kind of have to get our head on straight and say, listen, I am a success. If we have to say that to ourselves every morning when we stare at the mirror, brushing our teeth, say, I am a success. I am powerful. I am moving towards my goals. I am embracing. I am winning. And it brings us to judgment. It brings us out of the darkness. It really does. It's like answering the call out of the darkness to our power. The Hermit comes through again in the public arena. This is not going to be the time where we want to be in the middle of everything, in the middle of all like social events and everything like that. We need our own quiet space. And again, Virgo is coming through very strongly if we have that within our natal chart. Then we have the Hanged Man. This is going to be the fact that we see things differently than everybody else. And it leads us to the High Priestess. It leads us to having the mask lifted from our eyes. And it's kind of like, I can't walk back. Now that I've seen, it's kind of like when the little boy says to the Emperor in the Emperor's New Clothes, why are you walking around naked? It's like once you see that the Emperor is naked, or once somebody says, like, why aren't you wearing clothes? It can't be unseen. And this is going to be a time where we start to see that all that glitters is in gold. The mask that everybody wants to show that they're embracing the power of, like, I live this perfect existence, this perfect life. It starts to shatter. And we start to see it. Or it might not be that it's shattering for them. They might be going along perfectly well. But our perception of what is supposed to be, that starts to shatter. And that starts to move us forward in a really profound and really beautiful direction. Now let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And that's the Princess of Pentacles. Now this is our own energy, Capricorn, coming through. We're represented by the Pentacles in the Minor Arcana. We're represented by the Devil in the Major Arcana. And the Princess of Pentacles, it's only about the money. And that's what we have to be really mindful of. Surrounding ourselves by people where it's only about the money. It's only about the job title. Looking at things and saying, well, how much money can you earn? Like, what's the title of this? What would people think? This is going to be a time where we need to say, I need a little bit of chaos, just a little drop of chaos. Not too much. We don't need the tower to come in and just knock us off our feet again. But what we need is just that bit of chaos, that bit of, how will it go? How do I move forward this way? How do I embrace what success is for me? And not conforming and saying, well, what if? What if I walk down this path? And what if I see what happens? But it's going to be very hard for us because we're going to have a way that we look at wealth, we look at prestige, we look at power. And it's going to be wrapped up in this little box that is a stack of money. And we're going to surround ourselves with people who kind of think that way, or who have always thought that way, or that's the way that we were raised. And now we're starting to really kind of push against that. It leads us to our subconscious, not our subconscious. It leads us to our chakra message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, which is grounding. Now this is the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We are connecting with our Earth, and we need to connect with the Earth. We need to connect with the energy that grounds us, with the force that is a part of us, of nature. We need to say, what is the grounding force within my life, within myself? And how is it that I embrace this? How is it that I move forward in this? How do I get to where I want to be? And with the Earth Star Chakra, it's very much connecting us to our Earth, which we are Earth sign energy. We need to be connected with our Earth. We need to be connected with the energy around us. Is it feeding us baseline energy? Just base, common, everyday energy? Or is it raising our energy vibration to let us shine brighter and brighter and brighter? This is going to be a time where it's kind of like, how am I nourishing myself? But not only what are the foods that I'm eating, but how am I nourishing myself through my soul, through the people that I'm connecting with, through my work, through what I desire. And this is where we're embracing the Fool. There's going to be something about this time. Now, it can be, I'm not being treated this way anymore. I'm going to find a new job. I'm going to get new training. I'm going to start learning about, I remember this one guy I was talking to. He's like, what people should do now is, instead of spending all the money to go to college and everything, learn how to repair airplanes, learn how to, do this type of stuff. Because he's like, that's where the money is. And it's like, well, what if we did that? Like, what if we followed this path and said, I'm good at this. I can put things together. I know how things work. Like, what if I go after XYZ? What if I think outside of the box? And it doesn't mean that we have to go and repair airplanes, because Lord knows if I had to do that, I would I would cross my finger every time an airplane went up into the sky. But this is saying, like, why not look at our strengths? Why not look at our, divinely given talents and say, why can't I walk that way? Why can't I move that way? Why can't I go after that dream? And people will say that I'm foolish. Yes. But everybody, when they're doing something that's unconventional, when they've walked outside of, cultural societal norms, and they've, gone to the beat of their own drum, they're fools. until they're successful. And then they're innovators. And then they're entrepreneurs. And then they were so brave and so smart. So why not look and say, how does the heart raise me up? What does the heart desire from me? Where is it that my soul needs to be? What is it that I need to see over or through or from? And it brings us to the Virgo energy. It brings us to the Hermit energy that we have within our inner self and within our public self that says, you need to follow your own path here, Capricorn. Nobody else's script, nobody else's way of living is going to be right for you during this time. Open up your heart. Open up your ideas. Lead yourself forward. Take the light and let it guide. Take the light and let it be a part of you. See how you are transforming. See the shedding of an old skin and embrace of a new identity, or the sense of what you value isn't valuable to me. What we're saying here is that what the rest of the society thinks, oh, this is the most important thing. Driving this car is everything. Having this handbag is everything. Having this watch is everything. You know, when we start to say, why? You know, why do I need something that tells the time to be thousands of dollars? Why do I need a bag that holds my stuff in it to be thousands of dollars? Why do I need this car to cost as much as a mortgage? You know, or, you know, whatever. It's like looking at things and saying, why? How do I illuminate my path forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? And what is it that's right for me? Without the riches, without the shininess, without the overwhelming anything else, what is it that's right for me? And it brings us to the Tower. It brings us to God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, kicking us out of our comfort zone. The Tower doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be like all of a sudden everything falls apart and it's like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? You're like, why do I stand here? But what it is it's saying you're not going to be comfortable here when you first get here. This is going to be overwhelming. This is going to be life-changing. This is going to be different, but the divine is right here. And the waters, you know, bring the chaos of emotions, bring doubts, bring fears, bring us to a place that we're tested. But remember, it is by suffering, it is by hardship, it is by pain that we build compassion, that we gain understanding, that we are able to see things through different eyes. And those different eyes can lead us to a place of entrepreneurship, can lead us to a place of, you know, innovation of mind, or, you know, a new way of looking at things that starts to bring us to a place of greater success. It doesn't mean that we have to start our own business. It doesn't mean that we have to, you know, always be fighting convention. What it does mean here is that I'm taking the rut that I was in, the hamster wheel that I was running, and I'm changing it up. My job, it might not give us fulfillment. Our jobs, it really might not. You know, our jobs might be there to pay the bills, to get the job done, to put food on the table, and that's commendable. You know, we tend to think, oh, it has to have a deeper purpose, and if you're not living in your bliss 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it doesn't mean anything. But why it's so important to live in our bliss is that it's so stinking hard. It's so stinking hard to be happy all the time. And I would say it's a bit impossible. But to be able to see those glimpses of happiness, those glimpses of success, those glimpses of power, of insight, that shatter what we think the world is supposed to be, or the settling that we have done, that leads us to a place where the water's calm. That leads us to a place where we're rising above others' expectations. And it brings us to the Queen of Wands at our heart, our passion, our compassion, our determination, our fire. Brings us to saying, why not? We're not going to be afraid to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. We're not going to be afraid to think outside of the box. We're not going to be afraid of what other people say. What we are going to be is highly tenacious and looking at things so differently. If you've watched this channel before and the Queen of Wands have come up, you're probably thinking, oh no, here comes that Greek goddess again. And you're right, you're welcome. I'm predictable. But whenever I see the Queen of Wands, and the way Spirit shows me this card, is the goddess Hestia from Greek mythology. The goddess who could have been one of the great 12 Olympians. You know, there could have just been 13. Or, you know, she could have won the battle. Because there had to be an equal amount of girls and boys. And so after fighting the Titans, there was going to be yet another war. And Hestia said, I'm done. I'm done with this. It will be always just another battle and another battle and another battle. And instead of being the gods and the goddesses that are needed, we will just be the ones that always fight. And so she stepped away. She became a lesser goddess of fire. And by becoming a lesser goddess of fire, she became worshipped in every single house in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. She became immortal in a profound and centering way. This is going to be a time where others will be fleshier than you, Capricorn. Others will be, quote unquote, more successful. Let them have that success. Let them have that fleshiness. You have staying power. If you align with the changes that are coming in, the power of the individual self, and the inspiration that has been a part of you that raises you above because of the power of the heart, because of the power of your ideas, because of the power of your emotional connection. And it brings you out of a place of darkness, out of a place of doubt, of fear, of negativity, and into a light, and into the light of power, instinct, and ideas. It leads us again to saying, in the public arena, don't be a follower. I love that quote, and I forget who it's from, that, it's from a YouTuber. Or is it from Oscar Wilde? I can't remember. That it says, trends are for the weak of willed. This is going to be a time where, everybody's going that way. You want to go a different way. You want to explore on a path not as well traveled, or not as congested. And this is the time to do so. This is the time to say, you're doing this, I'm doing this. The hermit guides us. The hermit transforms us. There's a sense of, I've closed my eyes, and now I see everything. I embrace me openly and honestly. In the public arena, don't get caught up in office politics. Don't get caught up in the trauma drama of everyday life. Understand who you are. Understand what you want, and go after it. It leads us then to the subconscious. Not the subconscious. It leads us then to the hangman. We see things differently than everybody else, and that's because there's a subconscious self and the conscious self that comes together, where we walk between two worlds during this time, Capricorn, and we have to respect that walking. And it can feel almost like we tight walk, that we're on the string and it's precarious and we could fall one way or the other. But it also feels almost like, I've done this wrong. I'm not the same as everybody else, so obviously I didn't do something right. But it's like, I'm not the same as everybody else. I'm not sitting there in that base energy vibration. I've raised myself up. I'm raising myself up. Why not go after me? Why not embrace what I want, embrace what I need, embrace who I am? So what if I see things different? Our first reaction, though, is to be, I did something wrong. And not to be, wow, I'm carving my own way. But that's how people are going to see it. And it brings us to High Priestess. We don't see things like everybody else during this time. We see beyond their masks, beyond what they want us to see, beyond what we want to see ourselves. And we see what really is. And the High Priestess says, I will not hide. I will embrace what I need, what I want, and who I am. The secrets are part of my world, and I am part of the secrets. But as I see, I gain an understanding, I gain a balance, I gain an insight. And that changes the game for us. Trust your instincts, Capricorn. Trust that little voice inside of you that connects you to the divine and says, walk this way with me. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Queen of Hearts. It's the Queen of Hearts. Well, it's the Queen of Cups. Yes, the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Cups. Emotional manipulation. People who are emotionally draining, emotionally chaotic, we have to be mindful of that, because we're going to want to go from one extreme to another. To the extreme of everything's about money, the bottom line, studying, understanding, everything can be figured out, to everything's about motion, everything's about expression, and the more you express, the more chaotic you are, the more you figure it out. We have to be somewhere in the middle during this time, because it's going to just be too easy to be manipulated by others by the extremes. Our subconscious chakra message is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is the balancing of our chakra energy. This is the embracing of ourselves and what we desire. And this is saying, I am moving forward in alignment with me. I am moving forward in harmony with me. And I am seeing what's right for my energy vibration, what's right for myself. And that starts to increase our wealth, increase our money, increase our success. It leads us to this place of subconscious emotional energy. And the subconscious, yet rooted energy, which is strength. It's not the brute force strength. It is the strength of compassion. It is the strength of love. It is the strength of understanding. It is the strength of the heart that opens up the door. And that's what people are going to kind of see almost as weakness, because it's not going to be that big kind of businessman straight. Like, look at all of what I did. That didn't come out like English. Look at all I've done. There we go. Look at all that I've done. Look at all that I can do. Look at how successful I am. And it's going to be like this braggadocious strength. And then people are telling you, wow, look how great I am. It's like, oh, wow, they must be great. Whereas a person who's truly great doesn't have to keep on telling you anything. Says, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going after. You know, cool, end of story. That's that. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the Ten of Swords. The darkness before the dawn. The doubt, the fear, the negativity. Before we realize that we are now armed with such weapons of compassion, understanding, and respect that we can become unstoppable. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the world. The world is opening up to us because we are embracing our own passion and power, because we are rising out of the box that somebody else put us in long ago, or we ourselves put ourselves in. And now it's like, no, I'm not being boxed in, I'm not being denied, I'm not being silenced. The world is opening to me, and I'm starting to find my place within this world. It brings us to our subconscious public energy, and that's Chariot, rising to new heights, embracing our hearts, embracing the understanding of who we are, of where we want to be, of how we want to move forward. And this becomes the game changer for us as we soar above the clouds. All right, Capricorn, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the changes and the wisdom that are to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn.